is a video for those of you who are interested in buying some rock climbing shoes, but you're not really sure what to look for or how to size your shoes. Personally, I like the lace-up kind, but you can also get a slip-on type or a Velcro strap type. The only disadvantage of the slip-on type is that if you're doing a heel hook, it could just as easily slip off your foot. Otherwise, I'd just go with what feels the most comfortable. The slip-ons are a little more comfortable for if you're just staying around the crag for the whole day and you need something that you can just have on your foot without it getting uncomfortable. The next thing that I would look for is how aggressive the shoe is. Some climbing shoes look kind of like this, with a big arch to them. Those are pretty aggressive bouldering shoes, and they're designed so that the very tip of your toe can hold all of your weight, and you can put all that pressure on the very end of your shoe. I wouldn't say this is really necessary for most gym climbing, or if you're just a beginner and you don't need something that's especially aggressive like that. Personally, I've been fine with shoes that are pretty much flat like this, or even bend up a little bit at the end. Also, another thing that you'd want to look for is the material that the shoe is made out of. These shoes are made out of leather, and I like that because it stretches out a little bit over time. That way it sort of forms into the shape of your foot, and you can afford to go with a little bit tighter of a shoe to start with and then let it expand over time. But if you're buying a synthetic shoe, you have to be careful and make sure that it fits really well the first time you try it on, or else, it's never really going to change, so you're just going to be stuck with what you bought. Also, if you're doing some crack climbing, you might want to buy a shoe that has a stiffer sole to it. These shoes, as you can see, the sole will bend quite a bit if I squeeze it like that. You don't really want this happening if you're in a crack, sticking your foot in a crack. It could be pretty painful to have your foot compressed like that. So these aren't, the best shoes for crack climbing. In terms of trying some shoes on, you want to make sure that you take off your socks first. Climbers usually wear their shoes without socks so that they can feel the rock better. As far as the sizing goes, rock climbing shoes tend to be, at least for me, I have to go a size or even more smaller than my normal shoe size. And when you try them on, you're going to notice that they're pretty snug. Your toes are going to be even curled a little bit at the end, allowing you to put more pressure on the front of your foot. But you don't want them to be too tight, or so tight that they're painful. So when you try them on, maybe walk around a little bit, try if there's a little rock or boulder type thing, like some REIs have a little artificial boulder you can try your shoes on. Make sure you have something that's not going to be causing your toenails to bruise or your toes to get all squished together in a painful way. Some climbers will get a really tight shoe because they think that they're going to climb a lot better in it, but in my opinion, a lot more of it is just technique, and that you want to get something that's snug but not, so painful that you don't enjoy your time at the gym. So you just have to try on a few different types and see what fits your foot the best and go from there.